few things in life that are unavoidable. Preparing yourself for all eventualities and arming yourself with knowledge goes a long way to see you through even the worst situations. Now, insurance can be the protection that we need against even the harshest realities. But many of us don't actually understand what insurance is or how it works to get the best out of what is on offer. Now, fear not, though, as Nolwandle Mbalo, the head of Standard Insurance Limited, is in studio with us to help break it down for us and clear up any confusion. Nolwandle, thank you very much for joining us this morning. So good to have you. How are you doing? Are you keeping nice and warm, chilly, hey, in the mother city?
Thanks, Ewan. Yeah, it's a nice place.
I'm glad we're talking about insurance because insurance, it's prevalent. It's there, we hear it. But I think a lot of people might not understand or know exactly how it works, and this is why you're here. So I think that's first things first, what exactly is insurance, to unpack it?
So put simply, Ewan, from a consumer point of view, insurance is actually a way of managing the risk. And the way we do that, you transfer the cost of a potential loss, and that is actually talking to a damage, be it actually death, to the insurance company at a fee, and what we often refer to as a premium. And a portion of that premium is what we utilize to pay out a claim in the event of that claim.
All right. So linking on to that, I mean, it's very understandably so how important it is, but why should we insure? I mean, if you take a look at everything that we have to juggle in our daily lives.
Yeah. It's important to ensure, from one point of view, we continue to accumulate and acquire assets. I think from a bank side, we actually enable for the acquisition of these assets. So you need to make sure that your assets are actually adequately protected.
Okay.
In the event of the loss, because we're not talking about if, it's when it happens.
Yeah.
So you could be involved in an accident and resulting to a damage as well as a total loss. So it's important to ensure that that asset is actually protected. So it's both in the interest of the lender as well as the consumer to ensure in the eventuality that you are actually adequately protected. But also it's about actually mitigating the risk of disruption in one's lives.
That's the one, and also thinking of those who you are taking care of at the end of the day as well. So what are some of the things that you feel are those important points that we should be looking at insuring?
For most of us, acquiring or basically getting a house, buying a house is the biggest asset. It's probably the biggest expense that you will incur.
Yeah.
So it's equally important for the mortgage lender to ensure that your asset is protected. But you as a consumer, you've got valuable items that you continue to actually acquire during your life's journey. Those actually have to be protected. So your house is actually becoming a key part of your protection. And the valuable items within that house are actually equally important. You also protect yourself in terms of your vehicles that you have. And those are all issues that are important to a consumer to ensure that in the event of an incident, that you are actually covered, that your life can actually continue as well. Yeah,
exactly, because I mean, you got to make provision for the things that, let's say your car, like I've had that before. I mean, I've got my building insurance at my home as well, and in the event of a geyser breaking, it's a big expense, something that you can't actually fork out if you don't have the insurance.
And you're right, because I mean, look for instance, in the event of a geyser burst. Most often, the savings that we have are not enough to actually cater for some of those eventualities. So without insurance, you're exposed if you don't have a protection, because you're also looking in terms of the resultant damage. The geyser leakage could result into your floor being damaged.
Exactly.
And that's the cost that you wouldn't have actually budgeted for. So in the long term, insurance becomes much more economical from a point of savings, that you don't have to dip into those savings. You've got the protection from your insurer.
Absolutely. Nolwandle, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We are going to be continuing this conversation around insurance, but definitely great to just get a grasp on exactly why it is so important. So no matter who you are, it seems insurance is something that we need to understand a whole lot more. And we thank Nolwandle this morning for helping us protect our next. And remember, knowledge is power.
Protect your next with Standard Insurance Limited. Get up to 20% cash back on your premiums. SMS Expresso to 31492 for a quote.